Hello friends and fellow sim historians! Welcome back to my Victorian Sims challenge. If you are finding yourselves to be a little bit confused as to who is who in this challenge, feel free to check out the link down below. I have our family tree for your service. So welcome back to the Jung household. Before we hop in with the main household, I just wanted to pop in with Mary Jung really quickly and kind of get you up to speed on the drama that's happening in her life. So as you can remember, Mary eloped with Arthur Westerfield and they live in this really tiny 2-room apartment in the townhomes downtown. This is her eldest daughter, Priscilla. And Priscilla is now a teenager. She is very unhappy in the life that they have. Here's her little sister. And things are a little bit chaotic. So basically, Mary is pregnant a lot. And in a 2-room apartment, that is not a lot of space for a lot of kids. So tensions are really high. Priscilla is really upset with both of her parents, as you can see here. I mean, it's hard to blame her with toddlers literally sleeping everywhere and just no space for privacy. So Priscilla actually decides to move out and move in with a gentleman before she gets married to him. Mary is very upset about what is going on. She tries to tell Priscilla that she's not allowed to do this because Mary has been here and she does not want the same life for her daughter. So here is Aldridge Westcott, the gentleman in question here. He is a minor in our town, and unfortunately Priscilla does move in without reconciling with her mother, and obviously is a little bit upset. It's a very small lot with just some rocks behind for mining and also a 2-room cottage. She does give birth, so she ends up having 2 little boys. This is Samuel Westcott, and he is absolutely adorable. And then she has 1 more child. This is Ira Westcott, another boy. And unfortunately, this doesn't exactly go well. In her second labor with Ira, Priscilla does die of preeclampsia and leaves her fresh husband. They did end up getting married before she passed away, with 2 little boys and his little mining business. So things are kind of chaotic over there, and we will actually be seeing Mary a little bit more in today's episode, which is why I just wanted to sort of get you up to speed in what's happening before we hop in with the main household. So as you can see, we have Lee, and Lee is really stepping up into her role of the lady of the house as Nellie sort of steps down and enjoys just like having a very playful, calm, and peaceful life. I think we're all really happy to see things have settled down for the Jungs after, Nellie's had a really hard life. She lost her first husband before they could have any kids with each other. And now she is really estranged with her daughter, Mary, who has finally started coming around. I think with the loss of Priscilla, Mary now sort of understands why her parents were against the elopement. But that's where we are. So we do have a cute little toddler here. This is Faye Bao, and Faye is adorable. We'll see her age up as a child today, but in the meantime, we have a lot of these slow, tender little moments between Nellie and Rodney just sort of hanging out and enjoying their life. It's really nice to see. I know Nellie is a personal favorite of a lot of you, and she's a personal favorite of mine as well. She's just been through so much. So I really love filming these kind of like simple, mundane moments of her life. And on the other hand, Edmund, who also had a bit of a rough start to his adulthood. His first wife, Emma, died in childbirth with his son, Peter, and we all really love to see how happy and free and just playful he is now that he is married again to Lee. I catch him dancing. We got a Victrola and I catch all of my Sims just dancing to this proper classical music. I think it's so funny. Is that maybe a little bit historically inaccurate at this point? Yeah, but you take what you get, you know? Like, my one rule is as long as you're having fun and you're enjoying the vibe of your historical town, then don't worry too much about historical inaccuracies. Okay, so unfortunately, to break up the calm and pleasantness of today's episode, we do have a robber who manages to steal quite a lot. Like, he takes the piano, he takes something from the little storefront, and a few things from their bedroom while they're sleeping. Unfortunately, these two wake up a little bit too late to catch anyone, and no one is able to call the police in time. So he gets away with all of our stuff, and there is pretty much nothing we can do about it, which really, really sucks. That kind of breaks my heart for them. Oh, poor Lee, just sobbing at the loss of items in their bedroom. I mean, that could have been a little dangerous, you know? So, in order to kind of make some money to pay off what we have lost, everyone, except for, I think, Lee and Nellie, who are taking care of the kiddos, hop into a taxi. They still don't actually own a carriage yet, and head over to the Jung family vineyard. So the vineyard is honestly not making us very much money, but the kids, Bertram and Peter, are so close to each other. Technically, Bertram is Peter's uncle, but they're kind of the same age. And look at Rodney just like lounging away. We still have some of these candles out from the Harvest Festival that I never put away. And Rodney has gold skill talent badge for sales, so he's able to dazzle Marcus here and a lot of the other customers into purchasing a lot of wine. Unfortunately, so we had a Westerfield boy. No, we had a Sully. I can't remember. I think it was Leslie Sully, who was the manager, and he actually quit. So we lost our manager, which means that we can't make money from the storefront unless we are actively on the store lot making that money solidly, which I think is a little disappointment because you could get several thousand a day from calling in to check on your store, which is honestly more than we make when we're on the lot. These guys really struggle to sell. We got a bad review, and so everyone is really cranky when they come into the store and a little bit frustrated. So we make a couple hundred a day at the store, so they are still pretty much proper lower middle. It's taking them a very long time to catch up with the Kings and the prices as well, but the Kings really benefited from some good marriages, and so they have Georgina and Philippa to sort of help supplement. We don't exactly have that here. I think that Mary wants a relationship with her nephew Peter, especially now that she lost her eldest daughter. I think you know, the fact that she was never able to reconcile with Priscilla really stuck with her, and she realizes that family is a little bit more important than these marriage squabbles. People should love who they love, and that's that. So poor Mary. She's had such a hard life. I know a lot of us really wanted Mary to be happy. Ugh, yeah, you can see Leslie Sully so angry and quitting. I think he was underpaid and we didn't actually have enough money to pay him, and so he just like pieces out. And unfortunately, Leslie quitting is really getting to Edmund. It's like the first time that he's really, you know, taken charge of the lot, and he's really struggling to make things work. Also, you can see here that Lee is pregnant again. So Edmund and Lee only have one child together. That is not Peter. Peter is from Edmund's marriage with Emma. And so they have little Faye together. So I'm excited for them to have some more kids. For those of you who are a bit curious as to how we're going to do the whole like marriage heir situation, I'm pretty sure we're just gonna have Peter as the heir. I know that'll be a little bit unfortunate for Lee and Lee's children, but I want to respect Edmund's first marriage. Okay, it is little Faye's birthday. She ages up into a child and she is proper cute. Also some more spam for Bertram and his best friend Peter. I love them. I hope that they're friends for a very long time. And here is little Faye as a child. I think she's super cute. We went ahead and kind of did away with the bangs. They felt a little bit young, I think, for her as a child. She's interesting. I'm really curious to see how she continues to age. She looks a lot like Lee and Edmund specifically. I'm not really seeing like a ton of Nellie or Rodney in her, which I think is peculiar. So there she is with a little teacup. We'll see what happens with her. I do wish that they drank the teacups like correctly. But you know what? I am terrible at creating custom content, so So my computer crashed and we missed Lee having her second child. So this is Aldous Lee. I'm really frustrated at having lost some of the footage there, but that's okay. We didn't really miss too much. We really just missed Aldis's birth. So here he is. Lee is obviously smitten with her little son, and oh God, what is happening here? So unfortunately, Mary and Bertram have not really been able to recover their friendship. I think that Bertram is a proper family sim, and so when Mary kind of like, I guess, rejected her family in a sense in exchange for her elopement, Bertram, it really hit him hard. So they are not really doing very well. They are slapping each other constantly. However, Mary is on better terms with her parents, which is really important for us to see. And Faye is doing excellent at school. She's a little tiny superstar in academics, so maybe we have a proper knowledge sim coming. And look how happy Edmund is. It is also now time for Aldis's birthday. Here he is. I think he looks a lot like Edmund so far. I think he's probably gonna age up and look more like his mom, but here these two are, again, still fighting. I don't know what to do with them. They just like cannot get along. Every time Mary comes over, which is honestly like every day right now, I don't know what's going on, but she is just like at the house daily. Like she comes in the morning and then leaves at night. I don't know if maybe her home life is just like too chaotic for her right now. Her parents are loving having her here, but Bertram is not. And now it is time for Bertram's adult birthday. I'm so excited for Bertram to age up. We have this cute little cottage sitting next to the winery that I have been eyeing for Bertram when he ages up. So the cottage is designed for an apothecary. I think that Bertram is the perfect sim to be our local apothecary, so I am really excited about it. So here he is as an adult. I don't think he ages up well, but he is proper cute as an adult. I really love him. We gave him a little bit of a shorter and neater haircut as he ages up. I think it's still reminiscent of his more childish haircut though, so it's not too different, but I love him. I'm so excited to play with Bertram a little more. I feel like he's been a bit of a stale kid, and we haven't really gotten to know his personality, and I'm excited to explore that more as an adult because I think Bertram is really going to come into his own. as the man of his own little household, and we've seen him really enjoying doing the kitchen work, and so I think apothecary stuff is really just, it's gonna be perfect for him, you know? And look at Rodney with his little grandbaby. This is so cute. Rodney has aged up so well. He was a little bit creepy as an adult, and I think he's gotten less so as an elder, which, thank God. His relationship with Lee is also a lot better and a little bit less weird. So it's really lovely to see Bertram interacting with his family as an adult. I think he and Nellie are going to have a really good relationship. I think Nellie here is kind of telling him like how proud she is of him and how excited she is that he is going to start his own craft, because Bertram has never really been as passionate about the vineyard as Edmund is. Edmund takes the vineyard so seriously and so personally, and gosh, this just reminds me so much of when Mary would play the piano and everyone would just sit around and cheer for her. The piano has been kind of a staple in this household specifically. Like, it feels very normal for all of my Victorian families to really be playing the piano, but for some reason, the piano has just been so important and vital to the Jung household and livelihood. And look at her waving at her son. That's so cute. Oh, thank you, Rodney. That's classy. Yeah, so everyone is like, honestly, it's such a good mood. It makes me so happy to see. And so Peter is cracking me up. I think Mary has had enough of Peter's antics and it's just like, all right, like, this is not actually better than my crazy household right now. But Peter's one true hobby is fitness. So that actually explains why Peter is constantly jumping up and down on the beds, on the couches, doing some jump roping. So I do decide to kind of let him play along with his one true hobby. I don't always, but it felt kind of appropriate for him because he's like so hyperactive and dancing all the time. And look at this cute little family unit here. The nuclear family is not a thing in this period in England. That's very much kind of like an American construct from what I understand. But these three are so happy. Guys, we're saying goodbye to another Gen 1. I know Rodney wasn't with us from the start, and this is the second time that Nellie has become a widow. She has lost 2 husbands. I don't know why we're losing all the men first. I mean, I guess it kind of makes sense, considering the fact that, like, we are losing, like, men, but normally that would be because of, like, occupational hazard, and Rodney doesn't really have that, but maybe Rodney was just a little bit older than Nellie when they got married, but gosh, poor Bertram is so torn up. They've had such a hard episode with losing Rodney and then losing some items in a robbery as well. And poor Nellie is just having an absolute mental breakdown. She has absolutely cracked and lost it, and we have the psychiatrist come. Everyone's so upset and sleeping in the wrong beds and just like kind of utter chaos. But at least we did get quite a bit of inheritance from life insurance. So because he died of old age, I decide that it's, you know, kind of fitting that we send everyone to St. Philip's Parish and we have a little celebration of life. I'm not really thinking like proper funeral, but a celebration feels more appropriate at this time because it does. Like, Rodney lived a full life despite the fact that he joined us a little bit late in the series. But he deserves a proper celebration of life, just like Nellie will. Oh my god, I'm not ready to lose Nellie, guys. I love Nellie so much. I'm so attached to all of my first generation Sims, and it just... Guys, we've had 10 rotations. 10 rotations with these Sims. It's so hard to lose them. I don't know, who are you upset and nervous about losing first? Because it's gonna start happening. We've already started losing people, and it's just going to continue. which breaks my heart. So we've got Mr. Parson Allen Westerfield here, and he is, of course, as always, leading the Celebration of Life service. And unfortunately, we don't have Mary here, which is a little bit disappointing. I kind of hoped Mary would show up for the funeral, but I guess she just wasn't really ready to reconcile with her father-in-law as well, because like Arthur eloped and hasn't actually spoken to his parents. I mean, his parents are very religious. Obviously, his dad is the parson, so it's a little bit like iffy about how that relationship is going to play out in the future. So yeah, Nellie breaks out the communion wine a little bit early, and you know what? Like, I'm here for it. Nellie, I feel you. You've lost your second husband. You go to town on that communion wine. The kids are okay. I'm actually like pleasantly surprised at how not traumatized the grandkids are. It's really just Bertram and Edmund that are really struggling with their father's death, but yeah, Peter and Faye are doing okay. That makes me really glad to see. I didn't want them to be, proper upset or anything. Nonetheless, it's time for dear little Bertram, the baby of the family, to move out and onto his own. It feels like we've had Bertram with us forever, and it's a little bit like crazy that we're losing the last of Gen 2 to moving out on his own. I mean, we're not really losing him. You guys know what I mean, okay? So he checks out the listings in the newspaper, even though he, knows where he's going ultimately. He responds to the availability of the household and is going to move out. So the whole family gets up and they say goodbye. So the whole family gets up to say goodbye to Bertram as he moves out to his new home. Here we have a little bit of a taste of the new place. I am a big fan of it. So that is all for today. We will pop back in with the prices next episode. And check out the description, because I also, along with the family trees, I have a little gift for you. It is a beautiful build that I have been working on for months. It's like kind of a French country inspired Longbourn from Pride and Prejudice. And that is my gift to you for my thank you for 300 subscribers. I know we haven't quite gotten there yet. We're like 5 subs short, but I just wanted to show my appreciation for all of you. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll see you next time.